Hello, it's Helen with So Kind of Wonderful. This video is all about making the patchwork for the number 8 butterfly out of Butterfly Fields called the Flying Crows butterfly. And that references this patchwork that we make to go in the wings. So let's get busy making the patchwork for this cute little butterfly. All right, butterfly number 8. This is the Flying Crows butterfly. And this is a fun name for this really fun version of a Ohio star, but not. There's so many classic patchwork that have this quarter square triangles. So the first thing we're doing is we're going to make 8 half square triangles. So we are going to start with 4, let's see. No, what are we doing? Yep, we have 4 orange and we have 4 of the green. And just like we've done before, we will put these together. So match them up, right sides together. Draw a line, a diagonal line on the back side of your lighter fabric. And then you're sewing a 1/4 inch on each side. And then we cut that in half. You can use any method for making half square triangles, but you need to get 2 out of these 2 squares. That is just going to be right on the seam, or on the drawn line. And then flip it around and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, repeat that for all 4 sets. All right, I have sewn on each side of that line. Now I'm cutting apart on the line. Cut apart all 4. We're not going to square up yet. Ooh, I didn't do a good job on that one. I should use my ruler. Yes, I should. Okay, so now we're going to press the seam open. So all 8, go press the seam open. And then we'll come back and talk about making the 1/4 square triangle. Here I have all 8 with my seam pressed open. Now for 1/4 square triangle, and remember all of these instructions are back here on page 33. So here it says make 1/4 square triangles. That's what we're doing. Then this walks you through it. So now that we have it like this, we are going to put 2 half square triangles together. We're going to have the seams go the same direction. And then I want you to flip it back and just flip back one side. Can you see how you now have the orange are opposite and the green are opposite? Okay, so one last step. We're going to have that, and you can, try to line up those diagonal seams. And let's draw a diagonal line. We're going to do it the opposite direction that we did last time. So this will be perpendicular to your existing seam. And then we are sewing a 1/4 inch on each side of that seam. And you can see we'll get that hourglass shape that we need for a 1/4 square triangle. Okay, so we're going to match up all 8, and just make sure that the fabrics are opposite. So I have orange here, I have orange here. So don't put orange on top of each other. You want the colors to be opposite. Okay. You can put a pin in. You can, you can anchor that a little bit if that helps you once you have that seam lined up. And now we're doing the same thing, sewing a 1/4 inch on each side of the line we've drawn. Flip it around. And then we will be cutting on that drawn line, but you can check. Go ahead and check and make sure that your fabrics, are lined up correctly. And we're going to repeat that for all of these. Here I have all 4 of them sewn, and we'll cut apart on that diagonal line. We're right in between your stitches. And I did check. Again, you can always verify, yes, I sewed it correctly. So at this point, it's just easier than remaking the block because we've all done that. You can just give yourself a little check. So now we have 8 1/4 square triangles. So now it's time to press the seam open, and then we'll square up each of these to 2 inches. Triangle. Here I have them with the seams pressed open. So now we're making 2-inch squares. And I'm using this 4-inch sew square ruler. And I'm just putting the diagonal right down the center. And then I'm putting the 2s on these seams over here. And I have, between 1/8 and 1/4 inch all the way around. I can trim off, rotate. Now look at trimmed edges. Put trimmed edges on 2-inch marks. So here and here. And trim off whatever is left. Okay, need to do that to all 8 of our 1/4 square triangle blocks. All right, next step, they're all made. So now we lay out our patchwork. So now we are ready to sew together. So we have 4 that are plain, and then plain green. And then notice how the 1/4 square triangle, the orange, I think of it, is on the side. And then we have the pale green in the middle, which creates that, diamond pale green in the center of our block. So here. And now we'll sew it together into rows, and then we'll sew those rows together. Again, you can always change this. If you just go like that, you're going to get a totally different look to this block. So it's just a way for you to customize this, make it, uniquely yours. I'm following the pattern today. All right, pick up the first 2 in that first row. Put the middle one over on the outside one. Don't cut your threads if you want to use this method. Pick up the next two. And the next. And then again, I'm not cutting my threads, just come down, open up that top row, pick up your last one, add it to the top row. And then the second row. And our last piece. All right, still not cutting threads. So now we have it, we check, did we sew it together right? Yes, we did. Okay, so I just flip. So what I think about now is I just want the seams to kind of go naturally where they want to go. And when I flip this over, this middle one, because it's got a lot of seams in it, wants to just go straight out. And the one underneath wants to do that in the opposite direction. So that's great. I'm going to let those seams nest, going the direction they want to go naturally. So make sure that the seams are nested. And now for this one, the top seam will go towards me, the bottom one will go away from me. Here. And then we'll just turn it around and do that last side. And same concept, same theory. Let them go the direction you want to. And just make sure that you're doing the same that you did last time. So for this, the bottom seam is pointing toward me. Top seam is going away. And then it'll be the opposite. Check. Yes, we sewed it together correctly. So last step, I'm just trimming those little threads where I didn't cut the rows apart. And now I'm ready to go press my last set of seams open and the others to the side. All right, here are the two Flying Crows patchworks for the number 8 butterfly. Such a fun block to put together. And you can see the pressing on the back. Again, press open, press alternating sides.